After 18 years of marriage, I have just found out that my children aren't mine. The post was originally posted on May 1st, 2022. My wife Kelly and I have known each other for over 20 years and have been married for 18 years. We have 17-year-old twins, a boy and a girl, and I found out that they aren't mine 2 days ago. My kids got those ancestry tests for the family and we found out that I am not their father. Kelly and I met each other as coworkers at a job right out of college. We both were very ambitious, so after working for a couple of years, we decided to start our own business. We fell in love, and a year after starting out business, we got married. A couple of months into marriage, we had a massive fight over the direction we wanted to take our business in, and I left our home. She came to me a couple of weeks later, and we compromised. We've been inseparable ever since. Kelly got pregnant around that time. We've been through thick and thin. Our business has been through several hardships, but we weathered them together. We were always there for each other. We could always depend on each other. I loved her so much. She was a part of me, and I couldn't even imagine a life without her. I trusted her absolutely until this happened. Kelly has been crying and apologizing constantly. She told me that during the time we had that fight at the start of our marriage, she got drunk one night and slept with a random guy, and that she has not cheated on me since. The betrayal has left me disoriented. I told Kelly I needed time to process this, and I'm currently staying at a hotel. I don't know what I'm even doing anymore. The last 2 days have been a blur. I feel like a zombie, completely unable to feel or process anything. I don't intend to abandon my kids. I might not be their father, but I'm still their dad and I love them dearly. Right now, I'm sitting on my hotel bed and I have not eaten anything today. My thoughts are a mess, so I'm writing this down to help me process. Kelly has always been a great wife and an excellent business partner. I don't know if I'll be able to look at her the same again or if I'll be the same person again. I don't know how to move forward. Then the original post had an update on May 7th, 2022. Thank you for the overwhelming response I got on my post. I just wrote it down to clear my head and get my thoughts in order. The day after my post, I called my children and told them I loved them. They were scared that I might leave them. I told them that they're still my children even though I'm not their biological father, and that I won't be abandoning them. I just needed to think about my relationship with their mother. I saw several comments telling me that they're not my children because they don't have my DNA, but it matters very little to me. I raised them and they're my children. I spent thinking about how to move forward with Kelly after that. I was angry that she hid the fact that she slept with someone else after we got married. I calmed down and really thought about the whole situation. I really wanted to call my lawyer to talk about separation, but I kept thinking about our life together. So I decided to talk to Kelly and give her a chance. I called her and went back home the next day. My kids were thrilled to see me and we spent some time together. Kelly and I went up to our room after that. I didn't speak to her properly since we saw the results. I gave her time to talk. Kelly told me that it had never even occurred to her that the kids couldn't be mine. She told me that when we had the fight early in our marriage, she was angry at me leaving over a business dispute, and after waiting for me to return, she went to a bar one day and got wasted. She picked up some guy and didn't remember much that happened that night. The guy was gone before she woke up the next day, and she felt extremely guilty after that. She wanted to tell me but was afraid that I would leave her. To be fair, I was a hot-headed and stubborn guy back then, so I probably would have filed for a divorce without a second thought. To her, it was a drunken mistake that would never come out, so she didn't want to risk our marriage, and I would have never found out about it if she didn't get pregnant that night. She broke down multiple times and apologized constantly throughout the conversation. I believe her story. Kelly has been my rock and partner throughout my life, and I wouldn't be where I am today without her. We trusted each other absolutely. This ordeal has made a massive dent in my belief in her as a wife, but I still trust her as a partner. We had long conversations about our future, and I told her I was willing to give us a chance. I made it clear that we might not succeed and I might leave, but I was willing to try. I assured my children that no matter what happened with my marriage, I would always love them and be their father. We decided to give marriage counseling a try. My wife asked a therapist friend of hers and she recommended a counselor. We have appointments starting next week. Edit. As a lurker on this sub, it feels weird seeing my story posted here. It was a hassle logging back into this throwaway account after a year, but I wanted to post an update and advice that might be useful for people in similar situations. We are still together. Our relationship has been mended. I won't say it's like before because it never will be, but we are in a very good place. Getting to this place wasn't easy. There were days that I felt like I was wasting my time because I couldn't trust her anymore, but Kelly was very patient with me. Therapy helped immensely. Whenever I felt like giving up, my children were my motivation to keep trying. It was a difficult journey, but I am incredibly lucky that I was able to mend my relationship. This is my advice. You are not obligated to try and fix your relationship if you feel that it has been irrevocably damaged. I decided to try because I loved my wife deeply and trusted that she was telling the truth. We had been through so much, both in business and in our relationship, and I knew I had to at least try to save it. Even after you try, you will most likely fail, and that's okay. Also remember that people will judge. I made the original post to organize my thoughts, and I had people calling me a kook and pussy even a year later. I don't care about that, but you might.
Am I the asshole for telling my friend that I don't care about her pregnancy that much? Kayla, 26 years old, and I, a 25-year-old woman, have been friends for around 10 years or so. We are good friends. We just have been drifting away recently because our lives are too different. She got married, and I am happy for her because that's something she wanted. Her husband also is a good man, and that's nice. I was her bridesmaid and celebrated her even though I'm not a big wedding person because obviously that was about supporting a friend and not about me. Now she's pregnant, around 5 months, and I'm also happy for her. She's very excited to be a mom. I'm not a person who likes kids or wants them to myself. However, I can be happy for the people around me who want them. I'm not one of those bitter, child-free people who hate kids' parents. Her family lives a few hours away, so she often asks me to go with her to appointments if her husband can't or to do something like that. I am happy to help her out and I don't mind it. I also am happy to know that everything's okay with the pregnancy and her child. It's okay if she wants to talk every once in a while about that or about something they brought for the baby, etc. I can tolerate that. However, she wants to talk about her pregnancy baby all the time together. I think she's testing my patience or something. Every time I try to talk about something else, she somehow turns the conversation to her pregnancy. It's irritating. Like we could be talking about work, and she turns the conversation about her maternity leave or something. Or we could be talking about something personal to me, and she would tell me something regarding marriage and when you're a mom, or stuff like that. It's annoying. Yesterday, I was having a bad day. Honestly, I had a bad week because I broke with my boyfriend and I had to work on Saturday. I was tired and just wasn't in a good mood. We already had plans to have dinner together, so as did not felt like going out. I invited her to my house and we ordered takeaway. We ate and were talking afterwards. I was just ranting about life to her and such. And then she somehow turns the conversation again to her pregnancy. She started telling me about her back hurting and how she felt the baby kicking and such. She went on like that for like 10 minutes until I got tired of it and I told her so. I said, I don't care much about pregnancies. Can we talk about something else? She was very angry and she told me she was telling me about something important to her. I told her that it's only important to her. I don't care to know every single detail of her pregnancy, and we can find something else to talk just for once. She got more upset and called me an asshole and a bad friend. We argued and then she left. Now she's angry and doesn't answer my texts. Am I the asshole? I feel like I acted wrong, but she also is tiring, just talking about the pregnancy all the time, and I snapped. Edit. I broke off with my boyfriend because we had been talking about marriage and kids. He wants them and I don't, so it was a deal breaker for him. My friend knows this. She knows this was a big issue for us, and she tells me all the time that I'll change my mind about kids sooner or later. Maybe that's part of the reason why I snapped too.
Am I the asshole for telling my sister she shouldn't expect to be treated like family if she never acted like one? Our whole family is divided on this, and someone suggested I could ask the internet here. So here it goes. I, a 35-year-old man, the oldest of 5 siblings that includes 2 sisters and 2 brothers. We all have a pretty good relationship with each other and with our parents, each other's families, etc. Well, everyone except my sister Hannah, 30 years old. Hannah was never interested in anything regarding family. She hated being around us. She never spent much time with our parents and wasn't close to any of our relatives growing up. She left for college a year early because she was academically gifted and barely showed up for things afterwards. She always said she had work or was busy, which is true because she has a pretty high-end job. Mom was hospitalized due to her heart condition. After a week, Hannah finally showed up and said she had just found out about the situation. She blamed us all for not calling her. We all sent her messages in social media, but she insists she doesn't check any of that useless waste of time. She then said she hated not being treated like family by anyone. I had enough and said she shouldn't expect that because she never acted like family and always only cared about herself and nobody else. I then told her about the numerous times where she prioritized herself. My other siblings agreed. She got upset and left, and hasn't called to even check up on Mom. Edit. We tried calling beforehand, but as we all knew from experience, she wouldn't pick up or call us back until a week because she is in the middle of an important meeting. My siblings are all divided on this, so I am asking here, was I the asshole? Was